BeNeLux is here, guys. Let's take a look on all the new aircraft for this tech tree. Remember, this is a subtree in the French tech tree, so all the aircraft will be in the French tech tree. And remember, no tanks at this time, okay? Only aircraft. So let's begin with the rank 1, the first aircraft that you will get, the Gladiator Mark 1. It is indeed a Gladiator, was kind of confusing yesterday, but you know how it is. But yeah, nothing too crazy to talk about it here. Mark 1, battle rating 1.0. So very cool skin though. Let's see if it has any other skins. No. So let's get to the next one. Then we have the Fokker G.1A. This is a very interesting aircraft, guys. It is a very different design. Very similar to some of the other aircraft. But look at these machine guns on the nose over here. It has a lot of machine guns. All 7.92s. Nothing too crazy, but still pretty good. And of course, the good old scope on the nose here for the pilot to aim a little bit better. So yeah, 2 engines, of course, Bristol Mercury engines. These are very, very interesting. And talk about a very uncomfortable position for a gunner is this one, right? So yeah, but he has another gunner on the back. All of them are FN Brownings, which is pretty interesting to see. It makes sense, right? Of course, you can take some bombs, 650 kilos, 2 100s, or 1 300, or 1 400 kilograms, and we're gonna fly a little bit of this aircraft. I think he has a bomb bay on this thing, on like a glass bomb bay. That's kind of weird, but very, very cool aircraft. Let's just see the no skins. So yeah, let's do a test flight of it with the bomb, of course. And yeah, this tech tree isn't the, like, it might not be the, oh my god, it's so no copy paste or anything like that. Yeah, there's a lot of copy paste. This might be the only unique aircraft, I gotta be honest, on this tech tree, but in this subtree, right? But it kind of, I'm not mad about it, to be honest, because France could really use a help in the top ranks and middle ranks, especially with some of the early jets. So yeah, and the Netherlands and Belgian were basically perfect to be added. So yeah, very cool, very slow gear going up, and you have a gear down there. Yeah, it's a glass door bomb bay, which is pretty different. No cockpit yet, as you see. A very, very strong bomb. It turns very well, I gotta say. It turns very well for an aircraft this size and stuff. That it's a twin engine. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It has a lot of ammunition, but it goes very quickly. Look at the ammunition on the top left side there. Yeah, it does have a lot of ammunition, but it eats ammunition like no other aircraft that I ever saw. Of course, it has the gunner over here with 1 machine gun, more looking upwards than not, or downwards. Yeah, that's cool. It like he rotates. That's a pretty interesting design. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a very interesting design. And very good flight model, actually. It's a very nimble aircraft for an aircraft that it's kind of heavy for these types of props, right? Then we go for the next one, a Firefly. Nothing too crazy. Very cool skin from the Netherlands. So nothing too crazy over here. Some rockets, some bombs. Not gonna fly with it because it's basically the same. We have a Spitfire Mark 14, which with an amazing skin, in my opinion. I love this type of skin. From Belgium. So yeah, very cool. No other skin. It is like a cutted wing design. So yeah, but very, very cool. Of course, this is Panos and 250 cows being a Mark 14, right? Then the Meteor Mark 8, it doesn't have any other skins. It has the external fuel tanks, as you see. Normal Mark 8, okay? Nothing crazy as well, but it is a good aircraft for 8.0. Then we have the Hunter F6 for the Netherlands, but yeah, it has AIM-9s. But AIM-9Bs, you know, it's very, very cool to see this type of missile in this aircraft. It is kind of a high BR, I gotta say. I was not expecting 9.7. It's been a while since I flew this thing. It is a very good aircraft, but yeah, AIM-9Bs, sorry. No SRAMs or anything like that, of course. And a very cool design, very similar to the other designs of skins of the Hunter, but with the Netherlands kind of roundel there, right? Then we go for some of the other more interesting aircraft. We have here the Mirage 5BA. This is kind of the same as the normal Mirage, okay? The normal Mirage 5s that we know and love, okay? So you can take, of course, the external fuel tanks together with bombs and stuff. Remember, this is... My god, this is way too heavy for this aircraft. What? This is way too heavy? You gotta use nothing in the wings? That's kind of crazy, but... So let's just get some rockets or nothing, just to fly around. So yeah, it is a very cool design, but it's basically that. Nothing different, too different, you know. So yeah, you can see that it has the A9Js, but it's nothing too different from the normal Mirage 5 that you already know, okay? Then we go for an F-104G. Again, basically a copy-paste. It has the ability of carrying 4 AIM-9Js, and it has countermeasures, so it's pretty good. It's on par with the other G variants, and yeah, I love this thing. I really do. So I'm glad that they have one. And 4 AIM-9s, it will be a very good interceptor. Gotta fight fast with this thing, and yeah, it's a very interesting design, so it's always nice to have one more. Then we have the 2 more interesting aircraft from BeNeLux. We have 2 F-16s from Belgium, okay? The first one is a normal Block 15, but without any upgrades to it. That's basically what it is. So it's an old version of it, and it doesn't have the ADF or OCU or anything like that. It doesn't have the Sparrow launcher. Apparently, it does have ability to carry like a countermeasure thing over here. See? The original PIDs, I think this is, or something like that. I think. I might be completely wrong, but yeah. And of course, the interesting thing is that I think this might be the best F-16A for 12.0 in the game. Why? Because it's a 12.0 and it has 6 AIM-9Ms. So I don't know if this BR will remain, but it is the same F-16 Block 15 that you see in other, you know, other aircraft, like other nations. Like for example here, you have an ADF. It's the same aircraft. It has the Sparrows, okay, but it has AIM-9Ls, and the AIM-9M is a much better missile. So I don't know if this thing will remain at this BR, seeing that the Nets got a higher BR, having a better missile. But it's still a very interesting thing to have an F-16A at 12.0 with 6 AIM-9M. So if you are facing this aircraft, be careful with the AIM-9M. It's an amazing missile at 12.0, okay? So yeah. And then we have the best variant out there. The version that can actually take the AIM-120s, and it's basically the best version of these F-16s. It can take obviously the AGM-65Gs and stuff, so it is the best. It's basically an F-16C, right? It just doesn't have the engine of it, and oh, it's missing. Oh no, here. But and the radar, of course, it's not an APG-68, right? But everything else is pretty much very similar to the F-16C in regards of ammunitions and the way that it flies and stuff. It's very similar. Of course, it might be one of the best F-16s in the game. Why? Because it's lighter than the F-16C. So it's going to basically be a very upgraded. I mean, it's an AM, right? It's an MLU package that has the AIM-120s, that has the AIM-9Ms, and it has a lot of more countermeasures. It has the MAL systems. Yes, this aircraft actually has a missile warning system. So yeah, it doesn't have the APG-68, but it still has the APG-66V3, which is an amazing radar. Not amazing, it's an okay radar for top tier, but still good enough for it to use the AIM-120. You can still take 6 AIM-120s, and you know, it's just a very good aircraft. So let's test fly it, and with what might be actually the best F-16 in the game. It might actually be. Again, it has the air-to-ground capability, it has everything. This aircraft is like pretty good, and in a dogfight, remember, I have to test it out, but this thing actually might win against the F-16C. Although the F-16C has more power, depends on the situation, and this thing is lighter. So yeah, I don't know, like it's going to be kind of crazy. It doesn't have a helmet, but as you see, it has the MAL system, and of course it has the AIM-120s. Again, like I said, it has the MAL system, so this is going to be one of the first top tier. And look at this turn, man. Like this is a crazy turn of an aircraft. I don't think the F-16 turns like this. Like, look at this. I don't know if they changed the flight model of this thing, but it's just amazing. It really, really is amazing. And again, get this aircraft. If you like F-16s, you will want this thing. It's probably the best out there. So yeah, let's get back to the hangar just to show to you guys the air-to-ground capabilities of the AM. And yeah, expect France to be a much better nation now to actually grind. Not only people would love to get the Mirages and stuff, but also other stuff. You have the Lantern Pod, you have the paveways, of course, you have the AGM65G, so it's, you know, you have the bigger GBUs, so it's just like an amazing air. I really am excited to fly an F-16A because it's the AM, you know, it's such a cool aircraft. So yeah, guys, but basically this is it. We covered every single aircraft and what they are and stuff for the new BeNeLux SUBTREE over here. As you see, it's right there. And yeah, hopefully they fill this thing up a little bit more. Maybe even with F-35s in the far future, they might be even preparing themselves, adding these NATO nations for Sweden, for France, for Italy, to actually get more versions of 5th generations and 4+ generation aircraft, right? But yeah, I see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe, and bye.